Hi, Fiona Lewis here from Super Savvy Business and welcome to our weekly update. A couple of key things that have come up during the week, one of which is rapid content creation. If you check out the blog on Super Savvy Business, you'll see that I've come across a way to create content very quickly and easily using the new Mountain Lion Dictate feature. Now, I'm sure that there are other dictation services such as Drag and Dictate that you can use on PCs as well as Mac, but being able to dictate your content and have it transcribed for you immediately is going to save you a lot of time and energy when it comes to creating content for your website. The other post to have a look at is the one which we did live at the Ultimate Web Blueprint workshop on the Gold Coast, where I demonstrated how creating one piece of content can create multiple pieces of content and then form your traffic channels for your online marketing activities. So when you combine this repurposing of content alongside using features such as Drag and Dictate or the Apple Dictate feature, you're really going to be able to start to churn that content out very quickly and easily, which is going to put your business streams ahead of your competitors who aren't doing these sorts of strategies. On the topic of market leadership, another thing that has really come up for me is that it's really important for you to stay in touch with the latest news and trends and ideas and discussions in your particular niche. Now, one of the ways that I do that, apart from Google Alerts and RSS feeds for my competitors and for the market leaders within my niche, is to read a lot of books. I consume a lot of books, and what I do, people ask me, how do I choose which books to read? Well, it's quite simple, really. I listen to what my market leaders are talking about, and the minute they recommend a book, I go out and buy that book. Now, if that book resonates with me and I think it's appropriate for what I'm doing, then I will often buy other books that this author has written. I also, when I'm reading, take notice of quotes or other authors that author has been talking about and go and check them in. So really you're sort of delving deeper and deeper and deeper into the content that this author is providing. It really is your responsibility as a market leader, especially if you are providing services or you're training others, that you really do have the very best information. So I can't stress enough how important it is to keep up to date with reading, whether that's online and offline. Here's another point of conversation that has come up during the week. Many of the people that I work with, whether they be people who I've done websites for or whether they're my mentoring students, I always encourage strongly that they have what is called an opt-in form on their website. That is a space for you to collect a name and an email address, or maybe even just an email address, so that you can grow your database. And in return for that name and email address, more often than not, you are providing something of value. So that might be an e-course, a free report, a mind map, a checklist, a free strategy session, something like that. One of my mentoring students asked me during the week whether or not it is important to have a double opt-in. Now, that might seem like jargon to you, but what a double opt-in is when the person puts their name and email address in the form and then they receive an email from your autoresponder which asks them to confirm that that person's actually given their name and email address. So they have to click on a link, which is the second opt-in. Now, this is really good for a couple of reasons. First, it reduces the amount of spam that you have, and also reduces the amount of spam complaints that you might get. So, because you actually now have proof that that person has actually chosen to be on your list. The other benefit of having double opt-in, of course, is that it gives you a more qualified subscriber. This person is actually going to have to jump through one more small hurdle in order to get on your list. And it's probably better to have people who are more qualified on your list than people who are just not prepared to jump through those hoops. You're probably going to get better results with your marketing, and if you do have a trail of breadcrumbs in your emails that sends them eventually to a paid product or service, then you're more likely to get increased opt-ins and increased conversions. The other thing that happens when you have double opt-in is you're going to have, generally speaking, a higher open rate and a higher click-through rate on your emails. So it's not necessarily the law that you have to have double opt-in, but I still use it. I know that many top internet marketers still use it. It's something that I recommend, but at the end of the day, the choice is yours. The final thing that I'd like to touch on today is part of a webinar that I held for my private mentoring students on what you need to do to optimize your web pages in line with the Google Penguin updates. Now, there have been a lot of changes and things are different to what they were 6 months and definitely 12 months ago. There are certain things that we were doing in order to optimize our pages for search engines which now need to change. So whether or not you're managing your website yourself, or if you have an outsourced member of staff or maybe somebody working within your business, it's really important that whoever is doing this content for you, that they know these changes and they know how to do what we call the on-page optimization. So I felt this information was so important that I decided to take just the juicy bits out of this webinar that I did for my private mentoring students and put it online for you. So make sure you click the link below this video and you go and check out that webinar, because there's some really good information in there, and at least you know that by watching this, if you implement everything that I talk about, you know that you're doing everything possible to stay in the good books with Google and the Google Penguin update. So that's all I have for you this week. My name is Fiona Lewis from Super Savvy Business. If you'd like to talk to us about managing your website or your search engine marketing, then please feel free to contact us. We have a team of qualified professionals who stay up to date in only the latest strategies and tools. So you can rest assured that when you work with Super Savvy Business, you really are only getting the very best information and the very best strategies applied to your business. Thanks for now, and we'll look forward to seeing you in next week's update.